Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Playing in Traffic. This is where we do the car stuff, boat stuff, and whatever else you put gas in, we do it. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're on there, please like, share, and do that bell thing. You know how it is on YouTube. And
then next to the bell thing, got to click all.
Yeah, you got to click all so you get all the alerts, because we have the hottest guest on this show every month. So keep your eyes out for us, and we'll have somebody fresh on here. We got the fellas in the chat room, and we got Coverman 66 coming on, talk about his chassis that he's working on. He's doing some hot stuff on Coverman 66, which Siri spelled wrong when I put it up on the thing earlier. John caught it for me.
Yeah, you got chassis C's. It's only one S with an apostrophe.
Yeah.
You know, Siri's been drinking again, you know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, I saw that when I first read it. It went Government 66, and I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And then I went, oh, no, that's supposed to be Coverman 66.
Oh, that. Okay, I didn't see that one.
Hey, don't tell him.
Yeah, it's a Government 66.
Hey, maybe he's an operative. You know, maybe he's an operative, and we don't know it. You never know.
Right.
Never know.
Right.
Never know.
He's going to live in a new state.
Yeah.
Yep. So how'd you guys make out last week? I was on a hiatus.
It was good.
We did good. I was trying to get my co-host from a radio show on with us, Chris. He came in, but he had the connectivity problems where we just couldn't make it work out. So he had to jump out, and then we held down the fort.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my tech buddies, and he was saying that there's so many people online because they're working from home and doing other stuff that it's just killing the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Just goes to show you, America is not ready for this.
No. I've said that from day one.
We are sorely lacking, and I'm sorry. Probably the last 5 previous administrations should have got on a stick on that deal. The internet's been around long enough. You know, things like the power grid. That stuff should have been worked on. They should have started working on that stuff in the 80s, not, making proposals now. So,
the problem is
we're way behind.
Not only on a state level, there's so many municipalities, and everybody's got their own area. And that's what stops that stuff. It's just,
I know. But I mean, we're part of North America. I got friends in Canada. They have way better internet than we do.
Not John.
No.
Certain parts of Canada. I know Europe has some crazy fast stuff.
Did it?
I was watching a video today of a guy who does a lot of tech stuff, and he was paying for a gigabit, and he was getting like 770 it would be 770 mega of speed. He was almost at a gigabit.
Yeah.
On a download. I'm like, wow, that is
cooking.
I mean, still had 33 33 megabits of upload though.
We need to get our act together. A couple of years ago, my wife was climbing Mount Fuji in Japan, and she FaceTimed me from the mountain.
Wow.
Way up.
I used to ride my motorcycle upstate, and when I got over
clouds.
a certain point in past where Terry is, I couldn't make a cell phone call home to Long Island. That was back in I guess the late 90s, early 2000s.
She was on one of those educational trips, and they were way up on the mountain, way high up in the clouds, and she FaceTimed me.
Yeah.
So they've got infrastructure that allows them to do live video from mountain, from way up on a mountain, crystal clear.
That's wild.
And my signal was able to go that way,
right,
through the satellites, get over to Japan and go through whatever routers it's got to go through and get shot up the side of the mountain.
Yeah,
without a problem.
Well, I guess the good thing is if it's a satellite feed, you're closer to the satellite, so you got a really good chance of hitting, right?
That's true too.
There's nothing in the way, no ground interference or nothing. So
I mean, I got areas at my other shop where I go down to 1 bar.
Yeah,
that's
common.
I do that here in the house.
Yeah.
If I make a phone call here in the house, I can only talk for like 5 to 8 minutes, and then I hang up.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It does it every time. Yep.
It's nuts.
So on a kind of a related topic, I want to tell you guys something. I've been working on this Mustang again at the shop, and I got stuff like this. This is the light connector. If you could see the green crust and broken terminal, the takeaway is this: if you're gonna restore an old car, change the harnesses, put new harnesses in it, because the owner of the car has me fixing this light, fixing that light, fixing the marker light, and it's all connections. I posted it today on, it went on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and on one harness, there's a lot of black tape. I said, screw this. I'm unraveling the tape, and I found 3 sections of wire spliced together, and of course, all different colors. So it was 3 color changes. And and it's not the guy who owns the car now; it's the guy he got it from. The guys had just twisted the wires together and then taped it. So all these connections failed. All the wires became brittle and oxidized.
Sure.
And the reality is, for this guy, I feel bad, because I even told him, I said, if you would just break down and buy the harnesses, you're going to pay me more per hour to fix this stuff.
Yep.
And I'm working with old crappy stuff. You can't even solder these wires because they don't hold solder anymore. Because the metallurgy is broken down.
Sure.
So I said, if you would just buy the new stuff, bite the bullet, and then I'll put it in. I'll put it in 10 minutes. So I can hardly even charge you for it. It's like, it'll put itself in. But that's the takeaway. Don't screw with
American Auto Wire. They were on the show here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. This is the first time I used one of their harnesses, because prior to that Camaro that I finished, all of my wiring was race car stuff.
Yeah.
So it was bulk, and it was, like weather pack connectors, and do what you got to do for a high performance car. But the Camaro, I had to do stock wiring. I had to hook up headlights, turn signals, all of the switches, and little things that have to go in the car, all of that stuff. And that American Auto Wire kit was awesome.
Yeah.
It had every stock style connector you could ever think of, and the terminals were phenomenal. And I spent the extra money to buy their 2 crimpers, because you had some terminals were single wire, and then other terminals there was 2 wires into the terminal, like where you have to loop over from, like on the low beam of the headlights. The harness comes down the driver's side fender, and it connects into the headlight and then loops over to the passenger side. So that terminal is double width. And their crimping tool is made specifically for single wire or double wire. And I sent Ray a photo of me crimping it, and he couldn't get over it, because
we had a long conversation about that.
Exactly like, I had some old wires that I pulled out of the car, and I flipped over the terminal and then did my crimp on a new terminal and put them side by side and sent Ray a photo. And he was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It crimps exactly like the way General Motors was crimping stuff.
See, but that's the thing, John, and that's the other takeaway. I mean, a guy like you, and I'll do it, and I'm sure Lewis will too. We're going to go out of we're going to invest the money in ourselves to make the job easier.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys won't do that. They just refuse to do that. They'll use a pair of dull dikes and pliers from 1950 and trying to get a crimp, and dude, no, you can't do that. If you use the right tool, it's like bing bang boom, perfect factory crimp. Down the road, it's not going to. The 2-3 owners later is still going to enjoy good service out of that crimp.
Best money I spent on 2 crimping tools, and they'll be here for this project, Half Breed. Going to do the same thing. Going to wind up with an American Auto Wire system in it.
No, when you invest in the right tools, your job's going to come out right.
I think it's an age thing too, because I used to be that way. Like, oh man, I don't need a tool. But now, man, I want to go easy. So
right.
Yeah.
I'll buy the harness and the crimpers.
Way back when it was about money, and getting it done. Like, I remember when I first built when I first built this version car, was the first like full on, fully modified kind of chassis car. And I was sweating bullets having to pay $149 for a Milwaukee Sawzall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money, you know, back in the late 70s. That was a boatload of money for a tool. But I did it. And you know what? That Milwaukee Sawzall lasted me probably 25 years before it finally just got to the point where I would either have to like change the brushes and kind of rebuild it. And at that point, you know, I was running chassis connection. It was like, yeah, give me 2 of those, please.
Right.
And be done with it, you know. Toss
now
the
to
other
make
one in
those
the
nice
garbage.
Milwaukee battery powered ones that are small.
Right.
Oh, I
now it's
those.
battery stuff. That's you know, when I went and bought a compressor for the place, I already had air tools because I came from air tools.
Right.
That's what you used then.
Sure.
And then I see everything's battery. You know, you walk through the tool store today, everything's battery operated. And I called a buddy of mine and I'm like, look, what are you using these days? Are you still, you know, using air? He's like, well, sometimes. He says, but for the majority of the time, we're using DeWalt battery stuff, 20-volt DeWalt batteries.
They came a long way.
I went out, I bought 4 different DeWalt 20-volt tools. They're awesome. The impact gun, the drill driver. I got a hammer drill for at the other shop for drilling through the concrete wall to put stuff in. It's the only way to go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's
I started buying DeWalt stuff now too. I think
I love it.
For one, they're made in U.S., so that's one of my reasons. And
are they really?
Yeah.
I would have figured they would be in China also, but it's a name that's been around forever, and I stick with it. Yeah, this doesn't say anything about
DeWalt is that was Black & Decker. I believe Black & Decker owns DeWalt, or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, Black & Decker's China stuff.
Well, half of it is.
Yeah.
Like some of it is.
I think see this here. Here's the charger. Right on the back here says "Made in China."
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, they could outsource something like that, but the company
yes,
is American.
I've come to understand that you could go to China and say make this and get it cheap.
Well, yeah,
you could go to China and say make this, but you better make it the way I want you to make it, and then you can wind up with a quality product for a reasonable price. You know?
Back in the 80s, when I worked at Levitt Manufacturing, we did that. We outsourced the GFIs that you have in your wall out to Singapore. I'm like, Singapore? But no, we still made all the components here. And actually, in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, was the stamping plant for all the brass. So we had all the components, and we sent it to them, and they assembled it. That was their job, was to assemble it. And then we QC'd it and checked it, and and stopped any problems if they're worried. But they were all our components to begin with. And then the product was, but even with shipping it by boat there and back, it was cheaper to have them assemble it because they work for 10 cents an hour. The company still made a boatload of money.
Sure.
So,
well, you see that with Mexico. You see stuff that's from here, or the automakers, but they say, parts are assembled in Mexico.
I'll tell you the next best thing. After we dealt with Singapore for a number of years, some of the higher ups in the company said, you know what, let's look at another model. And they went down to Mexico and they found it was a tortilla factory. And it was actually in a bad part of Mexico. It was all gated off, walled off. People lived in there because it was, it was like bandito country. They bought the factory. They bought it out and said, okay, listen, we're gonna shut down for 3 months, retool, refit. We're gonna make electrical stuff. Same company. And they said, whoever wants to stay, we'll retrain you and we'll keep you on. And they went to Mexico because now it's just right over the southern border. It's a lot easier.
Well, you can get good stuff out of the country.
You got to QC it. You got to be on them. Well, like I said, you can't just tell them make this for me.
Drums, DW drums. That's DW's the Rolls Royce of drums.
Right.
And then when they upgraded their equipment, they sent their equipment down to Mexico, and Mexico builds on their equipment the PDP drum line, which is a more affordable entry-level drum set.
Right.
owned by DW, but it's the brand name PDP, and it's a product of Mexico, but it's built on the machinery that DW was using and had shipped to Mexico.
It's exactly like that, the ZBT Zildjian symbol that I bought.
Exactly.
And I tell you something, I happen to love the sound of that thing. And that's how, some people will be swayed and say, well, I'm not going to own the secondary line. I got to have what? With musical stuff,
both.
It's your ear. If your ear tells you it's right, that's all that matters.
That's it. We talked about it. I have a boatload of Zildjians, and I have a couple of ZHTs.
Right.
It's all from the Zildjian family. Cover man.
What's up, Terry?
Cover man 66.
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, this is my little golfer's hat.
Hey,
is that a knot in your head? Is that a bump on your head?
Crappy weather up there.
No, under the hat, there's like this point right in the front. No, right in the front, the other front.
That's where the sew line. That's where the
sew line. Okay, yeah. No, you got to go up about 4 inches from
right here. Yeah, that's the sew line. Yeah. What's going on?
In there at least. Tell someone you got knocked on the head.
Well, at least it's not like the hat Lou was wearing last night.
I didn't see it. What was he wearing?
He had a bowler hat on.
Oh, a bowler. That's a cool hat. He could rock a bowler, you know that?
And then he pulled out a what do you call it? A stovepipe hat. You know those tie hats?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, look at this
top
guy.
Hat.
Yeah, top hat.
Wow. What's going on, gentlemen? You have to excuse me if I'm a little groggy. I got my second shot. I think it was yesterday. Oh, it's wiping me out.
Really?
Yeah, my daughter did too.
Which one did you get?
Out.
Moderna.
That's what I
so
got.
Did she.
I got
my
tired.
Too, she's out the
first shot. The first shot, I got tired that night. I got the second shot last Thursday. Didn't affect me at all.
No, it's the first one, man. It wiped me out. So I'm hoping around this time, I felt it. I was like, oh man. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was tired from the first shot. I wound up, I don't even think I came on that time.
Yeah, I had flu-like symptoms. I think they called it.
That's what my daughter got.
I just felt tired, real tired.
Yeah.
And then the second shot last week, nothing at all.
Did anyone get the chills?
No.
Because I woke up, I was like, what is going on here?
See, now my wife got the Pfizer, and in the middle of the night, she had some sort of fever, and then by the time she woke up, it broke, and she woke up soaking wet. And then nothing after that. Done.
So what's going on, fellas? How y'all guys?
I don't know. We're waiting on you to tell us all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
before we talk about your chassis, let me show something to John's gonna like. I got this in the mail today. Big envelope.
That's big. It was a big X-ray.
I kind of told you about the other week. It came in.
Oh, look at that!
This is the new.
Cool. That's Billy Lynch's.
Of Billy Lynch's
drew that?
car. Kenny Youngblood.
Oh, that's the Youngblood one. Yeah.
So Billy sent this to me today.
Somewhere on there it says,
Billy, you're supposed to sign it, man.
Yeah. Down the bottom over there, it should say "Blood did it."
It does right here.
Yeah, there you go. Blood did it.
Right there.
He's my man. That's
now
my
I'll have to
buddy.
look up Billy and have him sign it for me. So I got my autograph. I got my Billy Lynch picture.
Yeah.
I went to Dead Man's Curve last year, and I actually was able to sit up in one of those rails.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that the axle is right there on your
right there.
Your legs are right over it, and your whats are against the back of the house.
Right there.
Yeah, I had no clue. I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I never put 2 and 2 together. I mean, if I put 2, I would have been like, something. You're too close for comfort up in that thing.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool because like the drive shaft is only like 8-9 inches long. That's it. But yeah, like you said, but forget the drive shaft. It's the proximity of the pumpkin to your pumpkin. That's kind of the scary part, And
back then, the rear end to use was either a Buick, Oldsmobile, or Pontiac rear end.
Pontiac, because it got
with a drop out center section.
Speaking of rear ends, we had Tori on a radio show last week because he had some news about rear ends.
Yeah.
They're coming out with, through Moser, a line of rear ends, housings that, because he said, guys put a 9-inch, they just thought a 9-inch looked wrong under a Tri-5 Chevy. And I'm like, I said, listen, I told him, I said, dude, you could put a Dana 60 under there with a set of N5015s, and I'm fine with it. I mean, like, whatever it is, it's high performance. It's fine with me.
You gotta think about the visual from the people that you're beating. You gotta think about.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But
So
a lot of the old cars, they used to put Danas in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what Moser is doing now is they're making a housing that looks like it's got that rounded back that looks like an Olds or a Buick housing. It doesn't look like a 9-inch. All of the guts are all 9-inch stuff. So Moser has.
You know what that's based on? That's based on a 60s Ford 9-inch truck rear.
Okay. All right.
They're very rounded. It's almost like a half moon cover.
Yeah, just a round dome, right?
Yep. And
the
centerpiece is tapered into the tubes.
Right.
Well, now, why would they do that instead of doing a 12 bolt?
For the visual. Well, first of all, for the strength.
And to be able to handle horsepower.
The 9-inch is stronger.
Yeah, but the 12 bolt, I mean, like people, I mean, the Oldsmobile and the Buick and the Pontiac rear end, there's nothing really flashy about them. I mean, as far as, if you see, they're just regular plain. I mean, a 12 bolt, it looks a little bit different. It looks a little different. But the Buick, aren't those 12 O's? Like they're 10 bolts, but then 12 bolts on the outside, but 10 bolts on the gear, on the ring.
The whole thing it's historically significant because back in the day, I mean, we built the 55 Chevy back in the 70s before we knew what we were doing, and it came with an Olds motor. Somebody put an Olds 8 in it and an Olds rear end. That was just the thing you did because it was a stronger rear than the Chevy rear at the time. So
they're bolt in, aren't they?
It's a bolt in from the front. Yeah, it's a bolt in section, like a Ford. Yeah. So again, just for historical purposes, because people were I don't know who these people are who didn't like the look of a 9-inch in a Chevy. I could care less.
Well, there's a lot of guys out there that are like
I'm one of them. I gotta be honest.
Like I said, throw a Dana. I don't care. Dana with a chrome cover. I'm on board. I don't care.
I gotta have a 12 bolt. I totally
12 bolt. See, I will argue that a 12 bolt is wronger in a Tri-5 than a Ford 9-inch.
12 bolts didn't exist back then.
Exactly. That's why it was a later rear.
I agree. I'm talking about a 12 bolt in a Chevelle or either a 69 Camaro. That's where I live.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
But I totally agree with you.
I'm a 9-inch Ford guy, no matter what car it is.
Yeah.
So
I don't even use regular 9-inch Fords no more.
No.
I'll show you what I use.
The takeaway is that Moser now has responded, and they're making these housings, and they're hoping they're going to sell a ton of them. So I wish them luck. So he's actually branching out into that area from instead of doing components like the clutches and the gear sets, he's kind of branching into the full rear end area.
Well, I got a Pontiac 10 bolt. Well, actually 10 bolt, but it's a 12 bolt housing open, a 12-0.
Right.
And I'm just finding out that not Moser. Who was it?
Perry.
Wow, look at that.
They're making. Well, there it is, right there.
Sheet metal, brother.
That's sheet metal. Yeah.
Yeah. That almost looks like something that you see on like the Battlestar Galactica or something.
We got a video of that on motormouthradio.com. Go to our website. Actually, it's on Motormouth Videos on YouTube. We got a video of that rear.
What's the name?
9-inch Ford, 3.5-inch axle tubes, all chrome moly, all TIG welded, ready to rock and roll.
You talking about Curry? Curry?
No, not Curry.
Curry's
the
good.
other company.
Strange.
Curry's great.
Strange.
I got it right in my living room. I'm redoing my 12 bolt with the.
I'm running out of names, man. Hurry up. Eaton makes the true deposit units.
No, right. But I'm saying, I forget the name of the company, but they make the gears for a 12 bolt because they say that the Oldsmobiles were just so expensive to rebuild. And now what's the name of the company? I got it right.
You talking about U.S. Strange gears?
No, Strange and Richmond. Those are the two big gear companies.
Who's Randy? Who took over for Randy's?
Randy's.
Remember Randy's ringing gear?
No. I remember Randy's rear ends.
Rear ends, exactly. But who bought them out?
Auburn, maybe.
That's it.
Auburn. Okay,
Auburn also makes posi units.
Yeah, that's another
Right.
player. Sure.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yukon.
that's it. Yukon. There it is. Yukon.
Yukon makes good stuff too. Really good stuff, and at an affordable price.
Right now they had it for, I guess, maybe the past 4 or 5 years. They're making gears and axles for the 12 bolt Oldsmobile, 10 bolt, whatever.
Yeah.
And so now, because the biggest part is no one wanted to rebuild those things because they were so expensive.
The Pontiac 10 bolt is the same thing. I have one. I have a 10 bolt posi Pontiac rear end, and I'd love to get rid of it because I don't need it. And it's just, that and a I got an 8 3/4 inch Chrysler rear that's taking up space. I'd love to get rid of too.
I brought my 8 3/4 rear end from this car to the scrap guy.
Right. But people buy, mine's an original rear out of a Cuda,
like
and
$5 for it.
People do take those things because they want to, it hasn't been modified. It'll bolt right into an e-body.
Yeah.
Call Mark.
I didn't want to go through the aggravation of having somebody come get it. I just tossed it.
I know.
Are 10 bolts worth anything from a 67 Chevelle?
No, well, I got one out of a 65 Pontiac.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. Where's yours?
Next to my garage.
Yeah, mine's is in my yard somewhere.
Right underneath the 8 3/4. And it's on a set of cinder blocks.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So Terry, tell us, you've been doing some fabricating.
Sick looking chassis mods, man. That's very nice.
Been getting busy, and it's funny because I made the announcement. Whereas if you want to see me put one in on a car where the frame is on it, where the body's where it's together, let me know. A lot of people's like, yeah, I want to see you do that.
Yeah, I kind of figured you was gonna get hit. When you were saying it, I was like, oh, he's hit.
But how can you do that without getting to the top of it to weld?
Well, the thing is that I probably do one on my 71, but if you get rid of the exhaust system, because I'm going to probably go with a different exhaust system, you're able to do it. All the stuff. I mean, you got to watch out for the gas lines, of course, but all the stuff is sitting right there. The way this whole system sets, is set up, it's really a nice system. You just got to do a little bit of trimming and just tack it in. Make sure that you have, a nice crescent wrench to bend that metal down for the seat channel, so you can put that plate in there and tack it in, and it can be done. I believe it can be done, and I'm going to be the guy to do it.
All right, that's cool.
No, it's a good piece. It's the Summit. What's it called? Race bracing kit. It's a really nice piece. You've seen it, Yeah,
very nice.
It ties everything in together. It's beautiful.
So tell everybody, the people that are on Facebook and YouTube, where to see that video.
Coverman 66. There's a couple of videos. It's me actually installing it. It's like a 20-minute video, and me painting it and all that good stuff. Actually, I don't have a video of me painting it, but I got a video of me taking the whole frame down and everything like that. And it's a cool video. Check it out.
I tell you what, I never thought about having somebody come to your house to sandblast or media blast.
Oh, yeah.
I got somebody coming here to do that dustless blasting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Guys will come with walnut shells. They'll do Corvettes and stuff too. But the dustless is the new big. We just sent the tow truck out to be dustless, to have the whole bed blasted.
Yeah.
And they're going to redo it. But
I got a bunch of stuff that needs to get blasted. I have a sandblast cabinet at the other shop, but I got stuff that's too big, so I got to have the dustless blasting guy come.
No, they do it right in your yard. Now, are they going to use baking soda?
I guess, yeah. It's the guy says there's no cleanup, He says,
because if they use baking soda, it's just one rainstorm and that's it. Not even a storm. Not even a storm. It's just the next day it rains. It's gonna, because when I had the 67 Chevelle, I had that, media blasted with baking soda, and the guy was just like, I was scared because my yard looked like a winter wonderland in the summer. Trees and everything. I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna clean this up. One rainstorm, that's it. And before he left, it started raining, and you just watch it turn from winter to fall to the spring. And
I'll tell you this: I have my deck lid done. I don't know if he used baking soda because I wasn't. I dropped it off and I left. But unlike when they when we bead blast or sandblast, there's always blast material somewhere. You'll find it. So this thing had nothing, not a speck of anything, and it's had all the holes on the underside of the deck lids. There's a lot of places for stuff to hide.
Oh
No.
yeah,
I'm putting the car over now, and you can still. I'm finding still sand all over that. Well, not sand, but baking soda all over that car.
Yeah.
The when you media blast with soda blast, when you're supposed to hose it off to wash it because the chemical reaction will coat the metal, and you won't get flash rust.
Right.
It. So when they do it down, and you can clean it out, and like I say, you just spray it, and it's all gone.
Well, see, I made the mistake. I didn't take the car apart. The car was still. I actually drove the car out and drove it in, and I taped up the windows and all that, and so if I knowing what I know now, I would have took the car apart, rolled it out,
did
it, and then rinsed everything out and everything. But we did. You're right. We did let the car sit out and rinse it off, and it hasn't rust till this day.
Yeah, it won't. As long as you keep your fingers.
Hey,
off
Lewis, buddy of mine has that.
Wait, you cut out, Keith. What'd you say?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. My buddy, there's a friend here in town that has that dustless blasting.
Oh, good to know.
And he'll come to your place. A guy that does that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and they put a thing in the water to prevent.
Yep.
They've been saying about that for years. They've been putting stuff in our water. There's been whole movements against that. There still is.
That's sweet, man. I've never even thought about it until I seen Terry's video. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, good stuff.
Because man, that will make your life a lot easier working on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's hauling something there and back and whatever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Keith, I like the work that
But make
you're
sure
doing,
it's satin black.
Yeah.
make sure.
What's that?
I like the work that you're doing. That painting that you're doing. That was pretty awesome, man.
Evil is evil. That's
Evil.
great, man.
Well, thank you.
And I'll tell you something, Keith. You are becoming a local
I just
legend over
posted
here
another
on.
picture.
You're becoming a local legend on Long Island. The other day when I sent you that text, my wife just happened to come in the room and she saw the phone light up. She goes, "Who's that?" She goes, and she saw like your name. She goes, "That's that." I said, "Yeah, that's Keith Sturgeon." She goes, "Yeah, that guy. He's wild, man." She goes, "The stuff he puts up, he's out of his mind." Because she's turned on like 3 or 4 of her friends to your stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, share it, man. It's all good." She's like, "Wow,
Great.
She thought there was some hot news I was getting hot off the press." I'm like, no, I'm just sending them a picture. That's all. It's just no big deal. Just correspond.
That's cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's a big thing that's going to be happening to me here in June, and I'm really excited about it. I did post on Facebook about the gig Harley shop.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
it is for sure. It's going to happen. And
Great.
it is the only Harley shop in the United States that has an in-house brew house. And it's a all set up now, but they're moving to another part of the building, and it's pretty huge. And pretty much all the wall space is mine.
Nice.
So, and they're trying to make this destination shop.
Yeah.
So that's why all the motorcycle theme art is coming out right now. So,
That's cool.
yeah, really excited.
Well deserved.
We have something else in the works too with him. And
My local Harley dealer's got a big giant Southern barbecue restaurant in it.
Yeah.
You go there, you get yourself some
That's good too.
pulled pork and ribs and the whole deal. It's awesome.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Need some Rockland County ribs. Right?
By way of South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good old pork.
That's it. Look at Brian over there. Brian, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How about you guys?
Hanging in.
Crazy.
Brian, you're another local legend around here.
Local legend.
We
Not
got to
yet.
talk a little later on because I got the Bible out again.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah?
Because Derek at the shop. We're talking, and now this other guy who's up in the office. He comes over. He goes, "Hey!" He goes, "You got a connection with Matco, right?" I'm like, "Well, you could say that." I said, "I got a friend. I got a guy." He goes, "I need some stuff. Can you help me out?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. What do you need?" So I brought the. He's so computer illiterate. I said, "Go on matcotools.com. Let's just go on the website and we'll look." And he's like, "No, yeah, I don't do that." I'm like, "All right, I'll bring the catalog in." So we went through the catalog today. There's a couple pieces that he needs. I said, "I'll get them for you. Don't worry." I said, "We'll put them on my account." I said, "You pay me when they come in." I said, "We'll be cool." So yeah. So
Yeah. Well, I got one impact gun here, and then I got another gun tonight.
right.
You're rebuilding?
I got another gun. And then you should know this one, Ray. The parts came in for this one.
That's Derek's Milwaukee. That's the one he's waiting. Yeah.
It's been kind of, I don't know. I ran a deal for a half-inch gun, our new impact. I ran a deal and a trade-in. And so I got about 18, 19 guns traded in.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I went through and stripped all the good ones, soaked them, cleaned them, and then I'm waiting for the next couple days I'll be building guns to resell.
Yeah, like I said, you broke the news. Well, you were talking about the Matco app. Because now Matco Michael did that last week, 5 days ago on Clay's channel, and made it sound like news. I'm like, "Hey, I already knew about that, dude." He's like, you're like behind the curve. Like Brian already dropped that news.
Yeah. Hopefully, the only problem, well, they're rolling it out slow, so
yeah.
Hopefully, we'll all eventually. I'll be on it, and then, like I said, we'll all be connected. So all you gotta do is punch in a number, and it'll come up, and if I have it on the truck, or you ask me to order it, and we'll all be linked. So
Hey,
what's
with that new 75-piece bit set that Matco came out with?
The screw one. I mean, for the screw gun.
No, they were 3/8, maybe quarter 3/8 drive. It's a double. It's a big box that opens up. It's
That's just that's our standard bit set. I mean, it's been around forever and ever.
He made it sound like it was God's gift to the. He was saying that Snap-on has a Blue Streak kit that they've had for many years. A Blue Point. I'm sorry, Blue Streak. Yeah, Blue Streak is standard. And he said, now Matco finally came out with this one that we can compete with it. And I'm thinking, I made it sound like it was a new thing. But then again, he's a new guy.
Well, we had that. But what Snap-on did to theirs is that we had it all with Torx and we had some Allens in it. Well, they ended up putting more into it. And so we had to sell 2 kits to make it to match the one that they had. And so they just we finally did away with the set, and then they came back with that set. They make it sound new, but we've actually kind of had it once.
He didn't really say, he didn't go through it and show what was in it. I mean, you're trying to look on the screen and I saw some long Allens, some short Allens. I guess there was some external Torx in there. But
external Torx, tampered proof. And then it has Allens, regulars, mid, and then longs. Same with I think I also had the long Torx in it. The other kit never had the long Torx, and that's where they got us. That was a separate set.
Yeah. Well, now there's there's super stubby drivers too, Allen and Torx.
Yep.
But like he said, a lot of guys, like I'm already thinking, he said it before I could think it was like he's got a lot of guys trading in the individual rails that they bought and now just buying the big set.
Yeah.
And my thought was, if I was to buy that big set, I want to take everything out and put it on rails.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys like to carry all that stuff around.
Yeah. On a service truck or something, it makes sense.
And, or they take it and they just go out to the car instead of the 10,000 walks back and forth trying to figure out what size they need and so forth. So
that's called weight control, man. That's how you get your exercise, That's like, heart healthy.
Yep.
It's like, I'm sure, Keith, you got a paint one brush here and one over here, you just you never know which one you need or whatever. But it went back and forth because we went for a long time with everything on rails, and then everybody wanted it in the box. But the only thing with the box is that when you put a box in your toolbox, it takes up a lot of real estate.
Yes, yes.
And I thought it was really nice because our boxes, you could take the pin out
Yes.
and flip it, and then you're not taking up 2 footsteps.
He did show that. Yeah, he made mention of that you could drive the pins out, and then you could put the boxes in, as storage. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Make a box that you could put rails in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Just put one of everything. Just throw the whole kitchen sink in there, and you'll have everything. So
it'd be like John's wrench drawer.
Yeah.
We've seen the wrench drawer, John.
That's the wrench drawer from hell.
Yeah.
But I know where everything is. That's the cool.
That's the beauty. Wait a second. Hold on, John. What is that? Is that a lightning? No, those are Lenkos, no?
Oh yeah, these are my Lenko shifters.
I'm about to say.
I
Terry,
put
that's how John changes. That's how John changes TV channnos.
Pull a lever. Oh, ABC News, CBS, CNN.
Fox.
No, I moved the camera up,
CNN,
and that's in the way. I
see the knobs. I was like, wait a second, hold on. I didn't think nothing of them. They just there, and I was like, wait a second, those are knobs.
Yeah, those are Lenko levers, brother.
Lenko levers. I was like, first I thought, wait, are those lightning rods? No,
got a lightning.
They're too thick for that.
Those are actually Lenko levers. There's you could buy Hurst lightning rods for a Lenko.
Yeah, but even so, you can tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, but this is
lightning rods aren't as thick as that.
Yeah, these are real Lenko levers.
Yeah.
Hey Brian, do you have any what do you call them? DAs? Air? Is it?
Yeah. We got 3-inch, 6-inch, and then they're called mudders, but it's a big 12-inch guy.
You got any used ones?
Actually, I took some 6-inch ones on trade, and I'm waiting for parts to rebuild them.
Put me on the list for one.
Okay.
That 12-inch, does it have like a second handle on it? A trigger and then a handle?
Yeah.
That's 12 inches. That's an awful lot to be using.
They were called mud hoggers, and
mud hoggers,
that's from cutting some stuff up, dude. Well, I tell you, I'll take you for a ride.
Lewis, I'll tell you this.
36 grit on that. You can slice through that cheese, no problem.
Yeah.
Lewis, you buy one of Brian's reconditioned tools, and it's as good or better than new.
Better than new.
You will not be disappointed. You won't even know by looking at it. You'll think he sent me a new one. Damn.
Yeah, you gotta.
He does the right. Brian does the right thing. Yeah.
The shaving cream does wonders on cleaning tools.
Really?
Use it on your face.
Yeah, I know. I save it for my customers.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, shaving cream's really good.
Gel or foam?
It degreases?
Oh.
Yeah, foam.
I didn't even know that.
Foam?
Huh.
Yeah, I
learn something new every day.
Yeah, right. I guess it's what's the lanolin that's in it?
I don't know, but man, it cleans it up really good.
Are we talking about what's it called? Gel or
Barbasol?
Just I go up to them, buy the cheapest shaving cream at the grocery store.
Right.
Really?
What's it called?
I'll get myself a can and see what that's all about.
And then I spray it down, rub it in my hands, and then I'll soak them down. Like I said, I'll soak the tools down and clean it up. It's works great. I just stumbled across it, and then we have.
How did you stumble across that, though?
Yeah, that's what.
I gotta know.
Okay,
he was shooting a tool.
No.
Yeah.
I was reading. Reading. No, wait. I was reading Popular Science, Popular Mechanics.
Yeah,
and they had a little tidbit in there. Like if you're on the road, on your traveling road, and your car breaks down and you have to work on your car and then clean your hands, use shaving cream. So I tried it and it really did work. So then I said, well, let me try it on this tool. And it really cleaned it up. And then once you're done, just hose it down, WD-40, wipe it down, and Ray's seen them. I mean, they look good.
Hey, John, see if you remember this from the way past. Shaving cream, be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen.
No idea on that one.
Uncle Floyd.
Oh, the Uncle Floyd show?
He used to sing the shaving cream song all the time. That was one of Uncle Floyd's staples.
Oh my God, Uncle Floyd.
Brian, there was something else I needed to get, and I can't remember what it was. I was in the shop, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get something off Brian."
You need one of these.
Shaving cream.
You need the catalog.
I forget what
grease my engine tomorrow.
but it was something I needed. Like I was looking for something. Like I need this tool, but I can't remember what it was.
Got to write it down.
That's when you're supposed to text me right away.
Yeah,
That's what I tell.
Or put a note in your phone.
Yeah. I got guys that
I got
work,
all kinds of notes in this thing.
It's funny. I got guys that work the county school lot bus depot, and they got the midnight shift.
Mhm.
So it'll be like 3 a.m. and they text me something. And I'll say, okay, no problem. Usually freaks them out because I answer them. They're like, dude, what are you doing?
Why are you up?
Yeah.
Even my tools.
I'm getting geared up to buy my bus. I'm trying to buy. There's a big auction in June. Late June.
You want to do one of those bus conversions?
Yep.
What type of bus you starting with, Lewis?
School bus.
School bus.
72 passenger.
Right.
There you go. That's cool.
Let's see what it looks like. 72
Imagine a roof rack you could build for that thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going solar. The whole roof would be solar.
Oh, solar panels.
That's smart.
Sure.
What year bus are you going with? A 1972 bus or a 72 passenger?
72 passenger.
Okay, what year would that be though?
Probably anywhere from 99 to 2005.
You want something dated, okay.
Is it a Bluebird?
Yeah.
You know the bus line, Bluebird?
Bluebird or Thomas.
Yeah, stay away from the Mercedes motor.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Mercedes motor is a nightmare. Oh,
I
my
heard.
God. Woo.
I'm going to flat nose with the rear engine.
Yeah, you want to go with the pusher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And, I think the front ones, twin LSs. You got it. Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, right.
Don't mess with me.
Yeah. Just put 55 trim on it and you'll be good.
Yeah. 55 taillight, 55 Chevy taillights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I hear you.
Terry,
I'm not going to say anything.
He wants to go with a flat front.
I'm going to go to flat nose, Terry.
Oh, you want a flat nose? Okay, hold on. We got something.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is right there.
Yep.
Lewis, why would you go with the flat nose?
Easier to park.
Well, they got the rear engine.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have more underneath with the engine being? Oh, that's true because it's going to drive it from the back. Yes.
Yeah. So you got storage under the bus.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
No
That's
drive.
right.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, no drivetrain.
Yep.
And I think those are those Cummins motors on those, and I think on the front ones they are Ford motors.
You can get any. They're all over. Like they got
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got cats.
Oh, cat. Yeah, that's what it was. I know that.
Detroit's, but I like the Cummins. I've always had Cummins in my trucks, but I did have a Cat 450 in my Freightliner. I liked it. That was a good motor.
Yeah.
But I like to
we were supposed to build a bus, like a race car bus.
You get one of them old
in the early 90s. Oh wow! Look at that,
man. I wish I could, man, but they're expensive. People are buying them.
Like that right there.
Wow.
There you go.
Coach.
There was a guy from Maine that used to run Comp Eliminator in Division 1, and he had a Bluebird bus, and he cut the side of the bus, the curb side, and made it into a giant door with pistons, so the whole side would lift up and it would become an awning. And then he used to race a little Opel, Opel GT and Comp Eliminator. That was like a tiny little Corvette looking car. And he made a boom, and he actually used a section of a GM flywheel and a GM starter that he mounted in the floor.
Yeah.
And he found the dead center point of the car took him a while to figure that one out. And he drilled a hole through the roof and made a structure, and then they would screw in a loop, and he would hook it, and then with his winch, he would lift the car up, and then he'd push another button on the winch, and the arm would spin, and out of this bus would come the car.
Wow.
And it was perfectly balanced.
That's
and then
great.
he would drop it down onto the ground, and that was his truck and trailer, the whole thing. And the guy
That's cool.
he was an awesome racer from up from Maine. And he would truck along in this like 66, bluebird bus.
Yeah.
Thing was
See,
wild.
long hard winters in Maine kind of give you time to do a project like that.
I was amazed the first time I ever saw this thing. I was like, this is crazy. And then later on, he actually wound up coming out to my chassis shop to have some work done on the car. And there he was in my parking lot, swinging his car out. I have a video of it somewhere. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bus
I
craze
gotta look for that.
is getting pretty popular.
Pretty cool.
They call them schoolers.
Oh, yeah.
Schoolies. Schoolies.
Schoolies.
Yeah.
Schoolies.
Oh, there's
There's
some
some guy
websites
now-
out
there's some
there.
guy that-
Lewis, you keep posting that. That stuff's cool as hell.
Yeah.
There's some guy at the LS Fest like driving around in one of those little small school bus vans, twin turbo. He's doing wheels all over the place. I forget his name. It's like one of those little small, Chevy van buses,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just going down his own wheelies.
I got a buddy lives in upstate New York. He drives a short bus, but it's the real bus, but the short bus.
Yeah.
It's like they lop off like 10 or 12 feet off the back of the bus and then put the cap on. It's got I think it's got like 8 or 10 rows of seats. It's a legit short bus.
It's a monster truck school bus.
Man, that sure is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Cool. The one that we were going to build was there was a company right around the corner from us that made repop fiberglass truck noses. So we were going to get an International Harvester nose, and then we were going to use fiberglass panels, flat panels on the side, and then put that black trim with the double bumps in it, and airbrush windows, and literally build like a pro mod bus. And then in the front, where they put school bus in that like piece of glass or plastic that lights up.
Above, yep.
The guy that did the rendition called it the S, cool bus. S cool bus. And the guy that was going to build it, he was getting ready to start funding it, and then one thing happened after another, and we walked away from the project. But it was going to have a blown Hemi engine in it. And it was basically a pro mod school bus, short school bus.
Sweet. Here's the inside of one right here.
That's really wild. I like the barrel ceiling.
Yeah. I mean, you get creative.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Where you gonna park, bro?
I got a lot next to me. It's pretty big.
Do they know you're gonna park it there?
No, it's me. It's mine.
Oh, sure. All right. Because out here,
my wife knows.
out here we see a lot. We just park in it,
So here's a flat nose.
It reminds me of a prison bus. Like prisoners
cool.
should be in that thing.
Well, me and Tammy gonna have a talk. I'm gonna do some custom paint on it.
Have you ever driven anything like that where the wheels are literally behind the seat?
Yeah, the bus I drive now is like that.
It's odd when you go to make a turn. That's something it takes getting used to,
Yeah, it does. It's a little weird at first, man, but once you roll,
Yeah.
Well, considering that's what the man does for a living, I'd say he's got a leg up on all of us.
Oh yeah.
True.
yeah. My friends see me riding by, and they're like, "Dude, you be flying in the bus. I'll be hitting corners."
Can you imagine these school buses?
Every time I
These
see a bus,
buses-
I'm for you.
Can you imagine these buses and these food trucks? They were plentiful not too long ago. I mean, like you go to the junkyard and you can see a whole bunch of them just sitting there laying around. You know, now I
more
school bus. Yeah, no, those days are gone.
Yeah,
We got one up my way.
Yep.
It's a little. Actually, it's about 4.5 hours away, but it's been between. It's up in the mountains, and they get all the West Virginia state stuff. So there's like state half track snow removal buses, all kinds of stuff. It's a crazy place to go and roam around. There's just tons of stuff.
There's a couple of those in Southern Virginia. It seems where all the big greyhounds go. They all go to like down near Martinsville. They're all over the place up on the mountain, all over the place.
Wow.
But
I might have to take a ride down that way.
you should. It's up 57 up towards Ferrystone.
Yeah.
It's right. I mean, it's like bus graveyards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So when you see me selling stuff on Facebook, don't laugh at me. You know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm getting my hustle money going.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta do it.
Hey, Facebook, you can sell. That's where I sold the Chevelle. Guy came down from Pennsylvania and bought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
free.
Yeah.
Marketplace is free, man. Shoot.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The only problem is by the time I get on it
Yeah.
or finally get to it, they'll start charging like everything else. So I won't get on it so you guys can make money without paying anybody's fees.
Marketplace is a beautiful place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I sold a bunch of stuff on it.
Craigslist is basically died.
Yeah, Craigslist. You know,
Who goes on Craigslist anymore for anything?
that's like the MySpace.
Hookers and cocaine.
It's
Yeah.
legal now in New York.
Hookers and cocaine.
I thought they stopped that on Craigslist. They banned that shit.
Yeah, it's just you just got to read between the lines, John.
I gotta listen some other way.
Hell if I know.
It's an escort.
Don't code
It's
it
not-
now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not that I'm looking.
Yeah, right, Keith.
You ever look through the category they got on there called gigs?
No.
No.
It's people looking to hire people, for work. But if you scroll through there, you'll see people looking to hire, models to do porn and stuff. It's fucking. You read the quote. It's hilarious. It's like,
Like I said, read between the lines.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's funny.
I found a lot of gigs over there in Craigslist. Not
you
playing out with people.
you find odd stuff on Craigslist now.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can't find anywhere. Then I go to Craigslist, and most of the time it's on there.
I bought a bunch of car parts off of Craigslist years
What
ago.
tons of car
We were
parts.
looking for stuff,
Yeah.
and you can. There's a program that you can put on your phone that will look in other states at the same time. In other words, so you go into the subject and you put in what you're looking for, and then it'll search however many states you tell it to search. So you're not just limited to your area. You don't have to wind up.
Facebook Market's got the same thing with the mileage, though, right?
Right. Yeah, you can do the thing with the mileage.
I cleaned out my Le Mans last weekend, and I'm getting rid of all the seats that are in that thing. Those are the same seats in the Chevelle, aren't they? Like a 69 Le Mans?
There may be some minor differences.
I'm talking about like maybe, other than the exterior as far as like the leather.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah,
It's the same seat, right? Like from 68, 72?
it may be. Yeah.
Because I'm doing away with them. I'm putting like 2006 GTO seats in there.
Ooh, electric seats.
I gotta have amenities, man.
You been talking to Slick?
Slick is busy, man. Slick got his TV show and everything. Slick is busy. I gotta give him
he's like a year and a half, 2 years booked.
Yeah.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
Slick is doing his thing. When I go down south, I'm supposed to go down south this year. He's not too far from my home, so I'm gonna definitely stop off and see him. Definitely hang out with him. He's a great guy. Love that man.
I was talking to a guy here. He has a 69 Chevelle, and he has a Malibu SWAT. And I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, one of my dudes down in down south does them. And he said, Slick? And I was like, yeah. He said, man, I tried to get in there, but he's 2 years behind.
He opened up a new shop, and that guy, he's busy. He is busy, and God bless him, well deserved. And like I said, like he's the truth. He puts together stuff.
Yeah, he does.
So he gave me some pointers and everything like that. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna send that car up there. I'll put this in myself.
Yeah, he's expensive. After he messed around with Snoop, you know what I mean? He did Snoop's car, and
yeah,
he's the man.
Well, John's cleaning Shaq's fish tank.
Is he the one that does?
Yeah.
Somebody just asked a question.
Yeah, I was asking Slick. He's the one that does the interior, the dashboards, and all that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So I just got done doing a boat interior for one of my friends. So I'm trying to get. I keep getting orders for leather stuff, man. I'm trying to get on my bike in the Cadillac, but man, people keep hitting me. So I got to make the money first.
There you go. Take it while you can.
That's a good thing.
I just finished my engraving machine.
Nice.
I built it from ground up, and it works. And it nothing caught on fire.
Great.
Do you leave it plugged in at night, or do you unplug it still?
No, I unplug it still.
Just for your luck.
I wanted to give that engraving a
shot. No, Terry, it's for my for the chrome. I'm gonna do all the chrome on the Cadillac. I'm gonna do the bike too. So I'm gonna play around on the bike first and make sure I can do it right, and then I'm gonna do the car. Yep. So I got that all done. So now, moving on to the next project.
Well, like I said, you got those disc brakes off my '69 Camaro. Because I have a whole set. It's just a matter of time. I just got to get that car in because, I got so many projects. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're fun, but they're yours.
Cool. I think I'm gonna get a roll-off container, or what do you call them? Shipping container.
Yeah, you can get those. They're affordable.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a small one, like a 20-footer. They're like $1,000, $1,500. Because I need storage, man. I want to take this car apart, and I ain't got nowhere to put the parts.
Yeah.
You gonna park it beside your bus?
Yeah.
In the lot next door.
Yeah, my neighbor's gonna be real happy in a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
And you just moved there, right, Lewis?
Yeah.
They were like, we knew it.
Yeah, we knew it. Listen, they're gonna be real upset when I cut the roof off the bus to lift it. I'm gonna raise the roof 2 feet, so they're gonna be really thinking I'm crazy.
Too bad they don't show cops anymore. You would have been on there.
Yeah. But hey, with no shirt.
Yeah.
I'll be like, man, is that? Hey, I know that dude. Man, you don't want to mess with him. He ate his vegetables, man. He can do what he wants.
Mike Cotton is like.
Hey, you can't believe how many times people will comment on that Mike Cotton. He's like, man, you said that to Mike, and he looked at you like he wanted to shoot you.
I had to keep that in there. My wife was like, don't you think it may be just a little too long? I was like, no, we're keeping that in there.
Man, that's the fun. I laugh every time I see that or think of that, man. I can't even tell you how many times I've said that to my customers now. They'll be standing. I said, man, you need to eat your vegetables, dude.
The funny thing is, look at it. Lewis is just still cheesing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were posing for a picture, so I'm waiting on it. I was like, "Hey, man, we stop talking so they can take the picture." And he's like, "No, it's a video." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I walked in on the conversation late.
Now, I dragged you in too. You were like, "Oh," you stepped out. I was like,
"Yeah." Dude, we had so much fun at SEMA, man. It's crazy.
That was a trip.
I can't wait.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Good.
Yep.
It's on, man. I already got my reservations. I'm all set. Got my plane tickets the other night.
I'm going out there. I think it's the 2nd to the 5th, right? I think
We're
something
going
like,
out Saturday and coming.
I'm
home
going the first.
Friday.
I'm going the 1st to the 4th.
All right, listen to this. Me and my wife are driving out.
Well,
Cool.
in the bus.
Well, if I have the bus done, I will take the bus. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna rent a van and like one of those Sprinter vans.
Yeah.
And I took the week after SEMA vacation too because I want to stay one day to check out the Lowrider show.
Oh,
And then me and her are gonna camp on the way back.
That's cool.
We're gonna do a trial run for when we go on the bus.
All right, yeah, you guys hearing it right here, right now. Okay, Lewis, we're gonna go see Steve Darnell.
Oh yeah.
I'm here. We're going to the dub party. I want to hear that.
Listen, no, I'm not taking you to Steve's unless you go to the dub party with me.
Come on, I'm going to the dub party.
Hey, Keith, tell him about the party, man.
At Darnell's,
Yeah.
at Welder Up,
Yep.
it was crazy. Everybody was there. It was cool as hell. It was amazing. He was firing up everything that he built. It was one. I was like, my jaw was dropped.
And listen,
And it was really cool. Really cool.
he did the tour, and then he kicked everybody out, and then all the celebrities came. So then we were just all at the party.
Yeah. And we were already there, celebrities, So, yeah, that was really cool. And what was funny as hell, I sent Will Scott from PR Cars. I sent him a painting. And I'm standing there with he looks over at me and he points at me, comes over, gives me a big hug and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And he thanked me up and down for his painting and everything. So it was pretty neat. It was a good time.
Cool.
That was a bucket list that I never thought it would happen. And Lewis and I, we met where was it? What store was it? And he goes, hey, you want to go to SEMA? And I look at my wife, I go, hey, can I go to SEMA with Lewis? And I barely knew Lewis. And she's like, I don't care. I said, see ya.
I don't care.
That was crazy.
That
Yeah,
is
we had a good time.
8 million SEMA
Since I came
stories.
back.
Yeah, there is a bunch of SEMA stories.
SEMA stories.
Yeah, Terry, we'll go to Welder Up.
Oh, we had a couple of stories. Oh, Lewis.
Oh yeah. I
I
had
was
some
supposed to
issues.
stop by out too. He's right in the same street.
Yeah, he's right around the corner. Yeah. I had some issues with bacon out there. Nobody wanted to cook my bacon right, so I almost had to go Ohio on them.
How do you cook bacon wrong?
I tell it, look, I want my bacon crispy, right? So I tell
You
them,
want your bacon burnt.
yeah, I tell them burn it.
Oh,
So that because they won't burn it, they'll still bring it, crispy if I tell them to burn it. So we're at like 5 different restaurants, and I tell them burn it, and they come, and it's like not even cooked. And Keith's looking at me like I'm a mean guy. I'm like, I'm not mean. I just want my bacon the way I want my bacon.
Right, yeah. You're 100% right.
We were
I had
me and Tracy
I had
were
breakfast
like,
at Denny's,
oh,
and
here
that stuff was
comes, here
sloppy.
comes.
all right. Well, okay. Let's take a poll. Who likes their bacon to the point where you hold it like this and it just stays there? Who likes it like that?
Yeah, I'll eat it like that sometimes.
All right. Who likes it like maybe a little?
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
Look, I prefer that better.
there's a range.
Okay. And who just likes?
Just a slight little bit of rubberiness to it.
Look, this one guy, I told him burn my bacon. He brings
I don't want
it.
to see no brown on the bacon. I like my bacon like
I like mine crispy.
a little, not even crispy, just like I don't know. Cooked.
I don't mind burnt, crispy.
Well, because it's burnt, you can eat the whole thing. You ain't got to pull all the nonsense off. You know?
Lewis's wife, every time he would order bacon, she's like,
Here we
Oh,
go.
we would just sit there and wait for the result.
Here
It
it
was
comes.
funny.
See, Lewis really likes his bacon.
It was.
Like you can't tell if he's eating bacon or Doritos. Crunch.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go to a diner. That's where you get good bacon. It's usually like a diner or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I only get mad maybe once a year,
Oh,
and it's usually over bacon.
Over bacon.
But when they bring you out Trump
times that year.
Have you ever seen that shirt that I think it's what's his name? Mike Finnegan wears. It's like bacon turbos and something.
Yeah.
It's some stupid shirt he has. It's funny.
He's got a lot of stupid shirts. Good stuff.
Oh, dude. Did you guys watch the other night? I was watching it. They took a Miata and they lifted it and they drove it up a mountain. It was an automatic, and he put nitrous on it.
Oh God!
He got way too much time.
Yep.
I'm trying to get those guys on the show, man, but they're so booked, man. They're booked up.
Oh, they're crazy busy with what they're filming.
Yeah,
You'll never catch them.
He's down in Georgia. Finnegan is. He lives outside of Atlanta.
I don't know if you heard, but Steve Magnate's Junkyard Gold is officially off.
Oh.
But that's okay, because now what he's doing is he's going to start his own YouTube channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what he said he was going to do.
He may be partnering with the other guy, Lewis, that I sent you the info to come on this show, Ryan Brutt, the auto archaeologist. I was just talking with those guys today. Steve's going to come back on the radio show in May, so I'm sure he'll drop it then. Maybe he'll have something formulated by then. I don't know, but yeah, Ryan is still up.
Those two guys would make a good combo.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Right?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Ray, I'm going to call him this week and try to get him on for next week.
Actually, I'm sorry, Ryan can't come on. I was going to get him in last week, like as the last minute, and he does a side gig with his uncle on Thursdays and Fridays. So he's only available like Mondays and Tuesdays. I was like, oh well.
Well, let me ask you guys. A lot of the celebrities, they ask me if I can just do it at any time on the whim. So should I start just booking people and have them on live and then just tell everybody to come, or what?
Sure.
Yeah, get them when you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Get them when you can.
You have to.
You did some, didn't you? At one point, do some shows? Didn't we do some shows, or you guys do some shows on a different night?
Yeah. We changed nights for a little while, but I did the Monster Garage specials on the Monday.
Previews.
Yeah. So we had the cast from Monster Garage.
Take them when you can get them.
All right. Well, I'll start doing that because Steve Darnell, he was like, "Oh, just call me a couple hours before." I'm like, "Come on, dude, you're killing me." Shorty from Iron Resurrection, Swag, all of them.
Yeah.
Good guys.
Yeah, we'll get them on. Okay, I'll do that then. I'll try to get them on and I guess hit it on Facebook. I guess.
Yeah.
Nah, just turn it on. I mean, people will come. I mean, especially if you say, like you're gonna be dealing with swag. I mean, so not swag. What's called shag. Shag. People will definitely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You get one of the guys from Roadkill, man. You'll have like waiting room going on.
Yeah. I'm gonna give them a call. I'm gonna call them all this week and see what we can do. We'll get something popping. Yep. Well, hey guys, I gotta hit the bricks.
Oh, look at it. Okay, same here, bud. I'm still a little bothered about that whole bacon thing. I still think bacon.
Hey, listen.
You didn't really tell us nothing about how you redid the chassis.
I was gonna say, weren't we supposed to talk about chassis tonight?
Yeah.
Well, Chassis John's the guy right there. He's got the link.
No, it was all about your restoration of a chassis.
Yeah, we wanted to go with your summit kit. So go ahead and spit that, Terry.
Start spitting.
It's a beautiful kit. It's like, how many pieces came in that kit? I think like 7 pieces. And let's call it. First, you got to do is box it. You got to box the frame, and then you got, like I said, you got these 4 extra. I guess it's like you got 2 more points of where it ties in, 2 or 3 more points. And the cool thing about it is that cross member, you can flip it around to cater just about any transmission engine combination that you can imagine.
That's cool.
they really did their work with that when they put that in, when they designed it, because they know people using LS. But then, hey, if you don't want to put LS in there, let's say you want to put a torque flight in there or whatever, with or Hemi, and if you're just stupid enough to do something like that in a Chevrolet, but but if you wanted whatever combination you want to put in there, they got it set up for that, and it's beautiful. And like I was saying in the video, as soon as I took it off of the frame, you could feel the rigidity of this frame, because before it was like, not that it was flimsy and all that, but but you can feel that it's a C channel. Where now this thing is solid. I can't wait to drive this thing.
Sweet.
It'll make a big difference. You'll definitely get a better road feel.
Yeah.
What's the cost on that?
Make sure that I strap it in, and I weld the bar to each side, connecting the two. So when you weld it, it won't go out. Well, first, you gotta make sure that it's straight, because they have a tendency, the frame has a tendency to do one of these numbers like this after time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that it was straight. So once I found out that it was straight, like a center point, like I think it was 53 inches, something like that, give or take a inch. And it worked out very well.
What's the cost of that kit?
I think it's like a little over $700.
Yeah.
A little over $700.
To make that frame stronger like that, that's not a bad price.
No, I have no complaints about it.
What are you doing this on again, Terry?
The 67 Chevelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I took the frame off. I was like, that would be a good time to box it. And someone was like, I was looking at boxing kits. I was like, wait a second, the Summit kit, that looks kind of nice. And then, if you look, they featured that video on their website.
Oh, really?
What's called online? No, on All Cylinders, the blog. Yeah, if you look at that, I'm in there.
Sweet.
They featured it, so it's kind of cool.
Cool.
Wait, so if anybody orders one, mention Coverman66 and they'll give you $1.50 off.
$1.50. $1.380.
They'll come with those free stickers, Summit Racing stickers.
And Terry will come to your house and help you install it.
And I'll help you line it up and install it. Just one tack. That's it.
I'm out.
That's it.
What a friend.
Gentlemen, it's time. Pat's here. He's like, yo, feed me.
Meow.
Meow.
Yeah. Oh, you sitting on a different couch tonight. I don't see no drums.
No, what happened was we were doing the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. And they had to go downstairs, through the drums, right under the drums. So I had to move them because they had to break the ceiling to get to a couple of pipes, because we're moving things around and everything like that. So my drums are under a tarp.
Nice.
Good.
Wait.
So it's a mess. It's a mess.
All right, Terry. I'll call you sometime this week. I had to holler at you about some stuff, so I'll hit you up.
Yeah, please, gentlemen. Ray, take me out, man.
Terry, be easy, brother.
Thank you. Everyone, be easy. All right.
All right, later.
You got it.
Later.
Terry.
All
right.
guys. Take
All right,
care.
Ray. Are you administrator?
I should be administrating in full charge here. Let's see. There's a way to tell. Yeah, it says it was Lee.com at the bottom, so that means I'm you.
Okay. All right, people. I'll see you later. Ray is the man. He's going to host the after show.
Yeah.
After party.
It's starting now,
party.
gentlemen. Stir your drinks.
All right. Remember your lives. Don't be doing nothing
Oh,
crazy.
no. We've been doing this a while. We know.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Lewis.
See you later.
See you
All
next
right,
week.
take it easy, Lewis.
Yeah. All righty then.
And then there were 4.
Yeah.
4.
Now my screen looks good. It was starting to get small.
Yeah, mine too. No, it actually got
Yeah.
clearer. Everybody's picture got clearer too.
Yeah, even though I was on full screen, everybody was just.
No, I think it was a bandwidth on Restream's thing, because when Keith, when you came in and then when Jason came in, the quality degraded, and your audio was actually breaking up a while ago, but I think it was on their end because now it's back. Actually, yeah, I can see actually for you, I still have a 0 out of 10 network connection.
It looks fuzzy on my end.
Yeah, we're all 10 out of 10.
It's like you got Vaseline on your lens.
Yeah, it's a weak connection on your end.
Everybody's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at my own picture. It almost looks like HD.
Yeah.
It's crystal clear. Very good.
Yeah, I tried getting on with my iPad and it wouldn't let me do it. So I had to hurry up and try to jump on this.
This place is not good for iPhones and iPads for some reason.
No.
Yeah, it said Safari doesn't want to support it unless I used a desktop version. And I was like, well,
Right.
I'll jump on my HP.
Yeah. That's an issue.
So Brian, I had the guy, new guy. Well, not the new guy, but the other guy at the shop was asking me for a kneeling pad. He goes, I want a Matco kneeling pad. I'm like, okay, they got those. So I pull up the catalog and I get the thing here, and I get the old the AE1167. It's like $176. $177.95. He's like, what for one kneeling pad? He goes, well, it was a Snap-on prices. I'm like, look, it says for 5.
Yeah.
I said, I guess that's like a dealer pack. I said,
they do not read that stuff, because like if you type up, even like every once in a while it gets in our actual sales flyer, it'll say, you know, like I said, for that it'll be $144, and people look at you like, yeah, and I was like, no, that's because it's 5.
right.
And you gotta straighten.
So I talked them down off the ledge. I said, look, it's for 5. I said, he goes, well, I don't need 5. I'm like, well, dude, you don't have to. Who buys 5? Who buys 5?
Kneeling back.
Yeah, no, 5, to be clear, 15.5 by 38.5 inch kneeling pads. And then the other thing is, I got to take this up with Matco Tool Direct. They call that one a 1.2 inch thick, but the other one is 1 3/16. So like, and then there's another one that's 1 1/4 inch. So like, what the hell's 1.2 inch? Are we in tenths now? Are we going to?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
One of them. Well, actually, one of them is German.
Engineering scale and go to my 10th scale. You know, but
one of them is manufactured by a German company.
That could be intense. Makes sense.
So there is one that is manufactured from a German company, and then the other two are there's 2 of them that start with A&E is a part number.
That's the one. Yeah, it's AE. Yeah,
and then there's another one.
KP.
Yeah, KP is the German company. KP is a German one.
There's a bunch of KPs.
Kraut products.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do no wrong. Don't argue with the German guys. They do no wrong.
No. Got no complaint there.
They have ways to make you talk, so don't worry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Clink the car.
Yeah. So how much longer on the Evil?
It'll be done tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, it's looking good. I can see looking behind you. Look, it's filled in.
I took off work today, and what I did yesterday and what I did today, I can't believe how much I got done. I mean, some of them I just can't stop. Like those motors, though, those motorcycle ends, it was trying to figure out that chrome. It was blowing my mind, and I was like, I just kept.
You know, especially when you're working on a macro level, and to really appreciate it, you have to step back to see it on a wider view. So you're on 2 totally different scales. That's that's
exactly what I was doing. I was backing up away from it and looking at it and walking away and coming back. So, but I got another real cool gig coming up. The 27th, we have a local cable company here that is doing, they do a thing called Street Scene. And they go around to all the different car shows in the summer, and they interview people, and they sponsor those trophies and stuff for the car shows. and then on their cable channel, you can see yourself on there. So a couple years back, I won a grand championship with my motorcycle. But what was really cool, since this COVID came about, they're doing a podcast thing. So they're going to interview me Tuesday for an hour, I guess. It's an hour-long show, so I'm pretty excited.
Cool.
So,
Very good.
Yeah, get out there, man.
Awesome.
You know, is it going
fun.
to be a live interview?
No, I believe it's going to be. It'll end up being on YouTube.
Okay.
So when it comes out, I'll let everybody know.
I was just asking because I know from doing a lot of live interviews, it's it's a curse and it's a blessing. It all depends who's asking the questions and who's answering them, because sometimes you kind of run out of gas at like the 41.5-minute mark. And it's like, shit, we got to fill 20 more minutes, man. And I've asked everything that I had on this guy, or vice versa. Being the interviewee, they stop asking questions, but they don't want you to free form it. So it's always good to know who you're talking to. And that's why it's good to do pre-interviews.
That's why you need that dude to call in. The guy that always calls in and talks completely about the whole separate, not even with whoever you have as a guest. That one guy.
That's most of the listeners. Yeah, Howie does that. Yeah,
Howie,
yeah.
the big man, right?
Big man.
Yeah, I love, man.
Right.
You can't. That tops the cake right there. That helps you out, right?
He is the cake topper. Yes. Yes.
That's some funny
Well,
stuff.
what's kind of cool, I guess there's 2 or 3 guys that'll be asking questions and interviewing. They got information on me and they got photos, so they'll insert some of my artwork and stuff. So it'll be pretty cool.
Well, that's it. I mean, as an interviewer, I learned it a long time ago. You got to do your homework. You got to get everything you can on the person, and you want to dig a little. I always like to dig a little deeper and get something that's a little. You don't want to. You got to be careful because you don't want to go into someone's past and bring up stuff they don't want to talk about. But you want to get a little nugget that maybe no one's asked about in a long time, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, that was." Kind of sets the interview apart. But well, that's good. It's good.
What are you making cappuccino there?
Huh? No.
Sounds
I'm reshaping the anvil so the clip stays on. The clip that holds the socket.
Yeah.
And the guy doesn't have. It really needs a new one. But extra $90. I'm just trying to save him some money.
That's awesome.
So, Brian, Ford brakes. What this freaking Mustang is just the bane of my existence these days. I bled these brakes for 2 days. I got a feeling there's something up with the master on this car, and I got to figure out how to attack it. I gotta figure out I gotta be able to cap off the ports on the master to see if I do have air in the line somewhere or if it's a bad master. Because I'm just getting kind of just a traveling spongy pedal that almost goes to the floor. The car stops, but way at the bottom. With the car off, that pedal should be rock hard because of the booster, and I could push it by hand. So I'm like, and I know it's got a dual diaphragm booster in it, and we had it rebuilt. We had the thing rebuilt by a booster.
There's a shallow cup and a long cup, or a long rod and a shallow rod.
Yeah, there's
on
two
the back
rods.
On the back of the mast. I don't have one here, but the back of the mast,
the rod has a hook on it, like a circle.
Yeah, that goes on the pad. But the actual, like when you're looking at the back of the master cylinder where the rod goes in, there's a shallow piston and then a longer piston. And that's why the rod has to travel further. That's why you'll have the pedal will grab lower at the end.
Well, that's what I want to do next. I want to isolate the brakes, the front and rear brakes, and I want to pull the master and see because I didn't put that one in myself.
Yeah, because a lot of guys will see that was a
69.
69. So that should have been a dual plane by then.
Well, it is. It's got front disc brakes.
Yeah, but But that's one of the biggest problems when guys put a master cylinder. The Ford had two different ones. They had a long piston and a short piston one. And they'll put the wrong one on, and you'll have all kinds of problems. You'll have crazy pedal problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm having now. And he's, it's like with the electrical stuff. He just looks at me and like, you can fix this. I'm like, man, I don't even know where to start. He's like, I got faith in you. I'm like, all right, well, you're paying me, so. But like I said, I'm dealing with this crusty shit here. This literally these pieces should never be reused. And like I said before, I don't know if you heard my rant. If you just would have bought the harnesses, he's paying me more to fix them than it would have cost them to just buy new.
Those wires are probably like rock hard, right?
They are.
Yeah, they're bad. Yeah.
And the problem is with some of them, I was splicing new wires onto it, and I couldn't solder them because the old wires won't hold the solder.
It's too corroded.
I'm brushing the corrosion out of the strands with a wire brush.
Kind of like Lewis's bacon between burnt and cooked.
Yeah, so I had to use on those connectors, on those wires, I had to use butt connectors. I had no choice. I had to make a connection somehow, and it wouldn't hold solder. What I did today, I used new wires. But like I said, you find this guy cut the headlight socket, and all three wires are green, are red. Well, there's supposed to be a red, a green, and a black. Red is low beam, green is high beam, and black is ground. So there's three red wires. Into the three red wires, one of them, like the red went into a blue with white stripe, the green went into a black, and then the black went into a white. And then they all spliced back into the factory, red, green, and black wires. So there was no continuity of, obviously you can make anything work if you know. But not only, I was showing Derek, the Guyana guy, not only did I put it back to the right color code, I used the same color heat shrink as the wires. So everything, even the heat shrink followed he's like, wow. He goes, yeah, that's, I said, that's why he pays me for my time. I told him,
did you know
I don't necessarily work fast, but I work conscientiously. What's that, John?
Did you know that what you say comes up in print on Facebook?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's when you're
Facebook is awesome.
That's when you're
love Facebook.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
that's
I just saw that now.
Yeah,
it's just coming up. I did not know that. That's what you're on Facebook is awesome.
I guess you're in hard of hearing mode.
Yeah,
it's in deaf mode.
No, I don't know. Well, the show comes up like 3 different times.
Oh, okay.
Live. So comes up on the Lewis Lee.
Yeah.
Comes up on their Playing in Traffic.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, I just hit the like button.
Okay. So Brian, you got an LP25 on the truck?
LP25.
It's the big plunger claw pickup tool.
You ever look through the category they got on there called?
Get the feedback going.
Yeah.
I have to look.
All right. You know what I'll do? I'll send you. Let me send you a text or an email, because what I want you to do is I'm going to have like 3. I want to do it like 3 separate orders. You bill it all to my credit card, but this way I can give each of them their own receipt, and they'll pay me, and then mine will be separate from theirs.
Yeah. Just texting will be the easy. You can do either way, but texting's the easiest for me.
All right.
Because I'll have it. I had the email too, but
yeah.
I only get about 475 emails a day. So.
Oh, you're
yeah.
How many of them are good, and how many of them are scathing? I hate you emails.
Oh yeah.
No, like I said, it's even bad enough now that I get all these crazy texts. I get.
You're getting them too?
Oh yeah, I got a text yesterday. Hey Brian, this is your FedEx driver, Paul, and I missed you, and I got a very important package for you. Could you please click on this link and we can set up a time to meet?
Right.
Yeah,
well, first of all, my FedEx guy is not Paul.
Right.
And I have my FedEx driver's phone number in my phone.
Right.
Because I meet him when my order's in. You know what I'm saying?
I've been getting emails from the USPS, United States Postal Service, telling
Yeah.
me that my package. Like, get the hell, like, no. Like,
I get those. I get texts in the middle of the night for mail enhancement stuff.
oh yeah,
I keep getting this repeated text from the same moron about these are pictures Mary wanted me to show you,
right,
and you click the link and it takes you to a dating site.
yeah.
Because if you do it on your iPhone, you don't have to worry about it as long as you don't log into anything.
We got a phone call tonight on the house phone, and it was from Curtis Sliwa. Because
Good old Curtis.
he's running for mayor, but
Yeah.
I can't vote for the mayor of the city. I don't live in the city. So I was actually taking a nap at the time. So my wife tells me, "Hey, your buddy Curtis called." I'm like, "Curtis, yeah, Curtis Sliwa." I'm like, "Oh, what do you have to say?" She goes, "I don't know. I didn't answer." I'm like, "Well, answer the phone." I said, I said, "Did they leave a message?" It's probably a campaign thing, but I don't understand why he'd be calling me for campaign stuff. Like I said, I'm not in the borough.
Probably doing a mass canvas or something like that.
But they didn't leave a message. That's the thing. So I'm like, well, if he calls again, pick it up. Maybe he wants to do an interview on the radio show. I'll put him on.
You know what's weird? I keep getting phone calls on my cell phone, and they say that they're my electric company, Tico.
Uh-huh.
And that because I haven't paid my bill, my electricity is going to be disconnected in 45 minutes. Right?
45 minutes.
In 45 minutes, right. But you know what the weird part is? The number that they're spoofing is actually Tico's number.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing what they do.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Because I know that my electricity is paid for at both here and the shop. So I know that's a scam. But there's a link they want you to click.
Sure.
So I'm not clicking the link. But then I got off the phone and I went on Google and I Googled Tico's, line, and it's the exact same phone number. It's like 1-800 something.
I learned about that when we set up the Google number. The other phone number, when we were doing the show, when I was doing it from the house, the radio show, and you had a Gmail account, you can get a Google Voice phone number.
Yes.
For free. So I did. And not only that, I was able to pick the exchange, pick the area code. I could pick the number. And then I could give it a name. So like I could have called it Nassau County Police Department. I could have called it Sheriff's Office. I could have called it, Mary's house, anything I wanted. And that's how that number would be shown on caller IDs. And I'm like, well, that's part of how these guys are doing it.
Exactly.
Google's making it easy for them.
Yep. Well, hey guys, I'm going to roll. Good chatting with you again.
Yep.
Too.
Good talking to you. Can't wait to see when Evil gets done.
Yeah, he should be done tomorrow. I have to wait a day before I start doing the other stuff. I got the eyeballs all painted in there so I could talk to him. So
what's going to be next?
Yeah,
What's up?
His granddaughter seen it though, and she liked it. She thought it was really cool. So
what's up next?
My buddy just finished the chopper, and he's got a motor that he did the they call it the gnarly cut, where he cut all the fins with the grinder, the die grinder.
Yeah. Diamond cut.
And it is all chromed out to the max. So I might do that motor. I might do Ozzy, a different picture of Ozzy. Just because the guy at the bar at the brew house says motorcycles, rock and roll, it all goes together. So he says any of that stuff he wants to put in.
Are you going to be doing that on canvas, or are you doing it directly to the wall?
Canvas. But however, in the brew house, he came up with a really cool logo. And this is another thing that we're working on. I'm going to paint it my style on a canvas, and then we're going to generate prints, and he's going to sell prints of it. So that'll be really cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
So I'm really excited. This was an opportunity, and the way I fell into it was hilarious because I went to the Harley shop. I took my iPad. I took pictures of the motors. I asked him first, and I told him when I'm done, I'll bring it in and show you what I'm doing. So I was done. I took it in and showed it to them, and they're all like, "Oh, that's crazy." So the one guy goes, "I'll be right back." So they left, and he brought the guy from the brew house over, introduced me to him, and he goes, "You want to hang this stuff up in the brew house?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we start talking back and forth, and wham bam,
Yeah.
I got my own gallery pretty much.
Very
You
cool.
see, that's something that the younger generations need to remember. You have to actually talk to people and interact with people, and deals will be made. You know?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I'm still promoting myself, and so far so good.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I've been loving it, and all the people that I met, and like you guys, it's just really, it's amazing. It's
The
amazing.
shameless art of self-promotion, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I do that every day.
That's right,
I got
'cause if you don't, who will?
I got a couple customers that I've actually given my cell phone to for my work. Since I've been working from home, I got this one guy, he places his orders over the phone all the time. So he called me yesterday and we started talking, and he goes, "So what's your new painting?" And I told him, and he goes, "I want to have to buy one off you." I'm like, "Let me know when." So I mean, even my customers that I through my regular job wants to start buying some of my artwork.
Wow.
So
Great.
it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
It's fun. So
That is awesome.
all
That's
right,
good.
fellas, will you have a good evening? Behave
You do the
yourself
same.
if possible.
All right.
And you guys take care.
Yes, sir.
Good
Good night.
All right.
All
I get
right.
off here. I don't even know how I get
Yeah,
off
there's
here.
got to be a way to leave the screen somehow.
There's a thing says leave.
Leave up in the top corner.
Yeah, up in the button says leave.
I got to be live.
It says make like a tree, and
Leaf.
you can't be in full screen though. You got to be in the smaller screen.
Leaf.
You may be in full
There it
screen.
is. Oh, yeah, I was in full screen.
Yeah, that's how I run.
Yeah, I
I run
was.
full screen all the time.
Yep.
So I can't see the chat, can't see anything. But what the heck?
Tell me to wait.
Wait,
Okay, yes, I do. All right, guys.
you cannot
Wait,
leave.
don't go.
Yeah.
We need you. Unreal.
So John, that's a you got yourself a bending brake, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a combo. In the
Is
back,
it?
that one there.
It's a shear and a brake. Yeah, yeah.
That,
on the-
yeah. I bought
Nice.
that when I moved into the first shop, and I had to search around because I said to myself, I need sheet metal working stuff, but I really don't want to spend the money for all of the separate equipment.
Yeah.
And I found that online through a tool company. I forget the name of it. So it's 52 inches long.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because a lot of the ones you find, like if you walk into Harbor Freight, they got like a 30-inch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You go online, you can find 36. So I was like, okay, I need a minimum of 48 so I could work with a sheet.
Yeah.
And then I found that one is 52. So it's a shear, it's a finger brake, and a slip roller
Oh, okay.
all in
Yeah.
one. Under that hood on the top, that hood flips over and you got your 3 rollers. So you can
Right,
make
right.
cones and transmission tunnels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's got multiple movable and removable fingers. And then it's also a 52-inch shear. And let me tell you something. It's nice and sharp and works really good.
I was gonna
So,
say we got stuff like that.
It's got low mileage on it because I've really only used it for Dino's toy Camaro that I rebuilt a few years ago.
Yeah.
And a little bit of stuff that I had to do on Rocco's Camaro, and it'll actually come into play on this car where I got to actually start doing, tin work inside.
We got stuff like that at work. So I make things like this, just like for scrap paper,
Sure.
because it's like the box brake, finger brakes.
Yeah.
You can make the tight bends, and
That's what you could do with that one.
I actually took these and I actually welded into the corners. I did aluminum welded all the corners and seams.
Right.
So yeah, I love just making stupid little stuff like that.
It's got.
Yeah, I got a small one. I wish I had a lot bigger one.
Yeah.
This has 2, 3, and 4-inch, movable fingers. So you can come
Nice.
up with
Oh, yeah?
all kinds of combos. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Nice compact unit.
Yeah, I got a smaller one, but I wish I had a bigger. I don't even have the room really for it. It's kind of like everything I have has got to be on wheels because I got to move everything around.
Yeah. This thing is freaking. Oh, I got it from Woodward Fab.
Woodwork, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Woodward Fab. And then when it showed up, came in a big wooden crate, freight. And I built a stand out of 1-inch square tubing
Mm-hmm.
to sit it on with big casters, so I can move it around.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Oh God, it's heavy. It's really heavy. It's all cast.
I had a pretty good score. We have a discontinue page on our website, Matco's website.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through there, and they had a little box, and it didn't have anything. It didn't say anything. It just said like CH something as a part number, and I was like, I don't know that. And I knew the prefix that was for the toolbox. That's a toolbox thing. And I'm like, man, wonder what the hell it is. Of course, they didn't have a picture, but they were 75% off was the wheels for the toolboxes.
Oh,
wow.
wheels.
Big 6-inch wheels.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that's a hell of a deal. Those things, I mean, I think I paid like $10.20. I bought like 8 sets.
That's nice.
And
I'm gonna put everything.
And where are they now?
Huh?
are they?
They're on the other side of the
Sitting in a box on the other side over here.
sitting
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
because
what
I just
happened with
made
me-
I just got a bandsaw, and I'm making a stand for that, and that's what I'm gonna put those wheels on so
Oh,
I can
good.
roll it around.
I'm looking for a metal bandsaw.
Yeah, I just bought the Sears over here, or the Sears down the road is going out, closing up,
Yeah,
and
same here.
this Friday's the last day, but I went in there Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Tuesday? Went in there, and they had stuff in there for 75% off.
Nice.
Wow.
And they had I was trying to keep an eye because they had like a 14-inch bandsaw, but
Yeah.
they were already gone. But there's a 10-inch bandsaw, and walked in there. It was like I think 75% off. It was only
That's
$100, and it was like $105 or something.
Nice.
And they say
So
you
I
can
picked them.
cut metal with that one, because all the ones that
Yeah.
I've seen from them, the speed is too fast.
Yeah, no, this one's metal. This
Wow.
one's a metal. It's I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's awesome. I hope I want to play with it this weekend. I got to redo my deck lid on the tractor, and I got a piece of metal here that I need to cut out and do, so I'll mess around with it. But I thought I missed it because they had I really wanted that 14-inch one. I don't know what I want that big for, but always have it just in case.
Bigger is better.
Well, I'm all
well,
set
that's
with
the way
this
we
thing.
think.
I got my tubing bender set up. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a guy going out of business, and I'm trying to get it. I'd love
See
to get
the
a
tubing bender right there.
Yeah.
With the hydraulic piston on it.
Yeah, this is one of those big ones that you put the card in and it bends up.
Right.
Oh wow.
Man, I'm trying so hard. He's got to be out. He's got to be done at the on the 30th, and I'm hoping I can keep working on him. I like to get that. We've come a long way on the price on that tube bender. Of course, the only problem is the size of a freaking car. I don't know where I'm going to really put it yet, but
Right.
That's it.
he had just put new
Is there a
pumps on
mandrel
it.
bender?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
yeah. And I'm working really hard on him, and he's running. I mean, I'm the only one that keeps coming back, and if I can get it for the right price,
Yeah.
I just don't know where I want to put it. But
Yeah.
I remember when I had the chassis shop and Cook's Custom Headers was in the back. He had a big Pines bender,
yeah,
mandrel bender, and the thing was like, it was long. It was probably about 12 feet long.
yeah, this thing is
'Cause
like,
you could load a full length of exhaust pipe in that thing
yeah,
and program it, and it would
like
push
10
the
foot.
pipe. Yeah, it would push the pipe out. It would bend it. Then the die would come back, and it would rotate to whatever degree it had to be, slide the pipe out again, and then bend again. And he could just push a button, and this thing would kick out the exhaust pipe for like 65 Impala, ready to roll. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Unlike if I was doing it manually, I'd end up bending myself into a box. I couldn't get it out. It's like you bend yourself into the machine. It's like, no, you make that bend last. It's like using the box brake. You got to know what bends to make when, so you don't get yourself stuck, so you can't make a bend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he had a really nice, he had a couple Miller-Matic welders.
Oh, I need one of those.
Yeah.
And he's got one left. The only problem is there's like three other people bouncing around. So now he's like trying to go for the highest bid. He had a brand new, still in the box, never used Lincoln plasma cutter.
Nice.
Sold it for $100. $100.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. I already had one, and one of my other customers, he ended up buying it. He goes, I don't know what I ever use it for. I said, dude, once you start using the plasma cutter, man, you'll be slicing your pizza with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I know.
And Nani called me up back, and he's like, dude, this is so badass, man.
I love my plasma cutter. I used it to take the chassis out of this pig.
You come across another welder deal, Brian. You pick it up and put it on the side, because, like I said, we're taking a drive down that way. I'll come pick it up. I will pick it up.
He's got what's the other one? The H Hobart. Yeah, he's got one of those. And technically that is a Miller.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean it's the same company. It's just that because we used to have those, because the deal that Snap-on had with Miller, we couldn't sell them, so we had to sell the other one. But they're very similar. It's that political game of do's and don'ts are kind of in betweens.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So like I said, that Miller-Matic, he was sitting at we started out at $500. And that was a hell of a deal. And then he had two other people joke around, so now he's trying to see how high he can go. And I don't play the game. I just said, I walk in and do this. See, here's this. We're done talking. So I don't have the patience.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm a Miller guy, but I went the inexpensive route with this Eastwood stuff. I gotta tell you, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I have not complained for a second. I don't know who in China is making Eastwood's welders and plasma cutters, but they don't fail.
I keep looking at that pneumatic tubing flare kit from Eastwood. That's on my list,
expensive.
Man. It's like $300 something bucks. I know.
I know.
It's on my list. That's why I'm looking. I'm still looking. Actually, I was at the Englishtown swap meet a few years ago, and a guy was selling tools, and he, it was a tool company, and he had one. And I was looking for a deal, and it was so new. His price was like $350. Like, give me a show deal. Give me something I can't pass up, and I'll take the money out right now. But he was holding his ground, so I walked.
See, with the stuff that I have to flare, brake lines and things, they always wind up getting done on the car. We don't with this race car stuff. You don't pre-bend stuff and do your flaring on a machine and then
a
stick
lot
it
of
in.
repairs. No, the repairs I do are on the car too. A lot of them.
Yeah. Because a lot of my lines are run through the chassis.
Oh yeah.
No, we make access points and slide the tube through, and we start with a roll, and then determine what we're doing, and we slide that stuff through the frame tubing and poke it out the other end and leave extra so that you can get in there with your. I use the little tubing bender I use for the 3/16 was sold by NOS years and years ago from nitrous oxide systems, made to bend 3/16 tubing for those
nitrous lines
nitrous lines that you plumb into the manifold, and it's a really tight radius, and it's amazing for doing brake lines because it's a real tight little curve, so I just leave a bunch of extra line hanging out and then start bending and doing what I got to do, and then I just use my my flare kit on because we do the AN stuff. So you're going to cut it to length. You slide either a stainless or an aluminum collar. Well, you put the B nut on first, then you slide the collar, and then you just do a single 60-degree flare. And then you slide that piece behind it, and then the nut locks it in. 37-degree flare.
37,
37.
Hey, Ray, before you do anything crazy though, because we just opened, they just opened an Eastwood store here, not too far, about 45 minutes away. I got to go up there because I want to try to get an account with them. That's what I want to try to do. So if I get an account, then that way can save you some coinage.
I will wait. Yeah, I'm not. That's one of those purchases. It's like I'd love to have it, but I have 2 or 3 other flare tools, so I can make my flares. It's just kind of cool to have that thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I look at it. I have the Master Cool one, the hydraulic one,
right?
Flare kit, and I have all the fittings that I can do the 37s and all that stuff, and that's great. But that Eastwood one's just pretty badass looking.
Right.
Yeah. I was over there. Over on the other side.
Right, the other side.
Behind the wall.
Behind my wall. Hopefully this wall will be gone here in about a couple weeks. I don't know.
Really?
I
don't know, man. I've been watching it grow.
Yeah, well, I've been to downsize, you kind of like make the mess. I've been going through.
I tell you something. I pulled a bunch of magazines off the shelf, and I was going to just throw them out. And now I have these 3 piles on the floor next to me, and I've been tripping over them for the last 3 weeks. So I moved them off the shelf and I put them on the floor. It's like, and I still didn't throw them out because I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't know.
I got the same problem with that, and like I said, hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully I can get my shed in the back straightened out. I'm tearing it. The roof caved in, so I'm cleaning all that out, moving that. That's been a kind of a little bit of a pain.
I'll say
not having time to really do it. But
can you re-roof that shed, or is the whole thing trash?
Oh no, it's so far gone. And I had gotten the shed. It's like 14 by 20.
Right.
You can fit a car. A car used to be in it.
It's a good size shed.
And it's one of those Amish market sheds, Amish made, and they don't use tar paper. And it was kind of funny. It came from my wife Jenny's great aunt or whatever. It came off of her farm, and it sat under some pine trees.
Oh boy!
So the roof was. So of course I get it, and it kind of sat on some pine trees out here. But when the pine trees fell, and was my neighbor's pine trees, he cut them down because they got all. We had a real bad ice storm and wiped them out. But once that sun hit that roof that had the pine needle, I mean, it just like it was gone, you know.
Yeah.
But it was like 20. That thing was close to 20 years old, and it just it was kind of shaky inside. The floor was kind of already kind of on the edge, but and of course I didn't do anything, and it just got worse until the point where the roof is gone, and so hopefully the only problem that I have that there's so much BS around here that I can replace it, but I can't. I really want to do something like a car and a half size, you know, go a little bigger, but they have, you know, I got to have like a hurricane, even though we're not in a hurricane area, but I got to have this 150-mile-an-hour wind proof, and it's got to be anchored to the ground. And I don't have a concrete pad that, you know, because it had a floor in it. See, when they have a floor in it, you can put them anywhere.
Yeah.
So I had it kind of like up on the property line, you know, kind of close to the property line. And now I'm kind of boxed in. I really don't want to concrete it because it's going to cost a mint.
I know John will appreciate this. The shed that I put up has a floor in it, and I poured a concrete pad anyway. I just bring me into concrete, and you know what? Do paving stones around that, and now we just do that whole area. Take the grass out. That's how we do it over here. And now let's have a party, and we did before the shed was up. We had a big party. Yeah,
it was funny because when I put the shed in, of course they gave it to me, and I had to, you know, find somebody to move it. That was a big deal moving it, but I had gone down to the rock quarry here, and I had gotten like 572 and 581. I mean, I got like 3 different stones, and it, you know, the guy said it would lock together. And, you know, I laid a pad out there of the stone to set the shed on, and it was rock hard, dude. I couldn't get over. So I'm kind of thinking that I have that stone maybe, but they had to anchor this thing down because it has to be hurricane proof or whatever. So I don't know. And plus I'm on the borderline of the save the bay and water runoff and blah blah blah. So much for freedom in your own place, but
my butt's hurting me. These northern swivel stools are horrible.
Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna have a 51st state soon, and they'll.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna have. It's not gonna get through the Senate.
You know, I got a real eye opener today from this is a guy that was in my band, a real good friend of mine. He lives out in Colorado now. Hardcore lefty, you know. And you got all this stuff going around. Everybody's yelling and screaming that, you know, that they want to do this deal with DC and create another state so they could get more representation in Congress, you know. So he prints today, back in like 18 something, at the time, the Republicans split up North and South Dakota. They split that trail up into 2 states.
Yeah.
So they wound up with 4 Republican seats in Congress. So, you know, he made this like real wise ass crack. Like, what are you crying about? Look what you did back then.
So it's reciprocity? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, why are you crying that they want to do this to DC when you guys did it? You split the Dakotas, North and South, so you could get 4 seats. So, you know, what goes around comes around. And I'm like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, 200 years ago, they're going, it's like.
I say they go in with a saw and just saw DC right off the land and send it out like off into the water somewhere.
Well, there was talk that they said, you know what, if really what they should do is just give the land back to Virginia and Maryland. Be done with it. And not do that, you know. What about Puerto Rico?
That's the other one, right?
They should make Puerto Rico a state, and they'll get seats on both sides if they want to play fair, but they don't want to play fair.
Actually,
This is all about a power grab.
The guy at the shop, Derek, was just asking me about that today because he's getting news on his phone, and he's from Guyana, and that country is corrupt as hell. So he's always telling me about these elections that it's like Russia; they never end because they just keep voting until they get it the way they want it. So. But he's asking me, he goes, how many states, and he's a citizen now. So he goes, how many states do we have? I'm like, 50. He goes, not 51. I'm like, they're looking for 51, Derek. Let me give you a history lesson. So I went and I explained to him like the wherefore and the whereabouts of what's going on. He says, oh, sounds familiar. I'm like, yeah, more of the same.
Real.
Oh,
I don't know. Every day I'm more amazed that I'm living in a country that's basically they're trying to turn it into a shithole.
Well, everybody tries their thing, and it's the flavor of the day. It's like now there's different trends that are, of course, hot. And if you jump on those bandwagons, it may be your time to get what you want. And then other times it's not. So it's just always the same through history. It repeats itself. Just
that's what I find amazing, that you can dig through something and find something from 20 years ago, a magazine, and open it up, or a newspaper, and it's the same thing, just different names.
Yeah.
And you would think by now, that we learn, that we can learn to move. That's why we'll never move on. That's why there's certain things that will always be the way it is, because nobody wants to take the next step or move on, just move on to it.
The other thing is they forget history very rapidly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the people my wife works with voted for Biden. And she's like, I don't understand, you're African American and you vote for a guy that's racist. And they're like, what are you talking about? So she whips out her phone and she starts playing. There's video. He gives like one of the most racist speeches I've ever heard back when he was in Congress or Senate, whatever he was.
Senator.
And there he is in front of them giving this whole spiel, talking about, division and keeping people separated here and there. There's a whole piece of video about when they were doing a thing with schools and busing. And he was like, I don't want my kids to go to school in the jungle. And I'm like, he really said that? And she's like, yeah, look, here it is.
Politicians above all have to realize that what they say is going to follow them through their career.
Yeah, but the thing is he can say all this stuff. All of them, they say and do all of this stuff. That crazy woman, Maxine Waters.
Yeah,
she says.
How do I know who you're talking about?
She says stuff that literally, I swear, I don't hit women. I would punch her in the fucking jaw as hard as I could. That's what she deserves. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And nobody does anything about it.
No.
And then you put the shoe on the other foot, the crap that's going on the border. If Trump was still president and he was doing those exact same things, they'd try to impeach him for that.
He'd be vilified for it, sure. I mean, that's happening left and right, yeah.
So, I mean, it's okay for them, but it's not okay for everybody else. And I feel bad for the independents because they have like no voice.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I just hope this stuff blows over. Now he's talking about, oh, well, you really shouldn't be having a 4th of July party. Right here. Tiki bar's open. Florida's open. I'm vaccinated. I don't care. Sue me, arrest me, whatever you want to do. I'm having a party.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Definitely crazy.
This is nothing but power and control.
Yep.
I'm done.
Well, my power control is I had to go take the garbage out and go to bed. That's my power control. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the shop. I don't have any work to do, but Derek needs an inspection on his Jeep. And he says, we were talking about it. I said, yeah, there's a couple places we use that are local. I said, but he doesn't know his way around, know the people. So he says to me, I got to get my inspection. And I said, all right, listen, I'll take you over to just one place that we use tomorrow. I said, I'll come in the afternoon and I'll take you over there. Oh, but and he points over by his bench and he bought front and rear brakes. He goes, but I need brakes. He goes, I'm like, you're going with me. I got a guy. I'm like, don't worry about it. I said, it's going to be all right. I said, I'm going with you. So you let me do the talking. You pay the guy. I said, that's all you got to do. I said, we'll be out of there in 10 minutes. We'll be back. You'll be fine. I said, don't worry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, it's funny because I see him learning how the world works through like a new set of eyes. And I'm like, listen, we grew up doing this stuff. So we know, like, yeah, of course. It's a no-brainer. But with him, he's all nervous. Like, don't be nervous. I said, don't worry about it. I said, you'll see how it works.
Got to make you a New Yorker.
Yeah. So he's
Did you
we don't have any kind of inspection like that here.
Yeah.
Did you get any hail yesterday?
Yes, we did.
I talked to yesterday was my brother's birthday, and I called him up, and he's like, man, you'll never believe this, but it's hailing.
Yeah.
He said, man, it was a crazy weather day.
I saw on the news, like the whole Northeast is like in a deep freeze.
Well,
yeah, we have a freeze warning tonight.
Right now, well, it's 46 degrees outside right now. It's warmer up here.
And up at Deep Creek Lake, that's the mountains, they had snow. And it was crazy. Like I said, yesterday was a crazy day because it started out, I almost walked out with my shorts, because it was sunny and warm.
Yeah.
And man, we had rain. We're talking wind. It was blowing the truck all over the place. And
us too.
It was crazy.
We saw it come in the afternoon. There was a line, a demarcation line that moved. And then I was in the office. It was pouring. And I went into Derek opens the door. He calls me into the shop, and all the bay doors are open. He's like, look. And I heard it. I'm like, is that hail? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I guess you're going to be doing some hail damage repair now.
Yeah. Because my brother lives, he's in Brooklyn.
Right.
So he was saying, yeah, it's crazy. It's hailing here in the city.
Right.
So
yeah,
I was like, huh?
Not here. In the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s,
yeah, we
got the AC on.
Passed,
Yeah. So
we're still in spring. I wore my flannel shirt. It's nice. It's kind of I like that gradual change. I don't like that hard. Like I don't like it getting hot all of a sudden. I like it to kind of
here
slowly.
You have like 4.5 days of spring, and it's summer. It's humidity, sucking heat. And then it goes along, and then we come to the fall, and you'll have a couple nice days, and then you're like cold, terrible, and then we have our little Indian summer. We'll have like another 10 days where it's nice, and then after that, dude, it's all downhill from there, man.
Yeah,
the weather sucks. I tell you, man, it's crazy around here.
We're putting the boat back at the marina next week.
Well, I made an appointment with my retirement guy, so I'm going to have a meeting with him next month. We're going to talk about all the dotting the I's and crossing the T's and see where I'm standing. And I got to decide what I'm going to do, if I'm going to go, where am I going to go?
That's cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I can't wait.
Cash it in.
All right, brother, I'm out.
Yeah, fellas.
Yeah, I gotta go find a couple more parts so I can put this 3/8 gun back together and get ready to run credit cards, get the machine ready.
Excellent.
And put Derek's. Maybe I'll get to that and get that done. And but text me the list or break it down or whatever.
Yeah, I'll break it down because he wants that battery, that puller with it. But I'll send the part number again.
Yeah.
And then the other guy wants those stuff. Yeah. Hey, on the there's a shirt that I saw in the catalog that I like. It's a black and red flannel. How do the sizes run? They run.
They are a little bit on the small size.
That's the hardest thing to do is order clothes without being able to see it.
I know.
Damn.
Yeah, and the funny part is they'll get every once in a while they'll get a cut just right. So it's not like it's a true 99% of the time, on the size.
Right.
I have to look. I don't know. I might have a couple of those over in the warehouse.
They only made black and red. Huh? They didn't make a black and white.
No, it was black and red.
Yeah.
Black and red on those.
Right.
And I think I have a couple of them in the warehouse.
All right.
And I don't have them here. They're upstairs I just loaded them up. I had new T-shirts made. Has a 32 coupe on the back.
Oh yeah, I was saying something about that. Right.
Yeah. So you'll be surprised in seeing a couple of those.
Cool.
All
right.
Yeah.
So with
all right, guys.
So for Lewis Lee's playing in traffic, Ray Guarino, Chassis John, Matt Goman, Brian, saying good night, and we'll see you again next Thursday. But
next
Sunday
Thursday
on Motormouth Radio, we'll do that too, and we'll
signing off.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
See you guys next week. Or
all right, guys. Take care. Be safe.
So long.
Don't follow us home.
Day.